Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Playing channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my weekly check-ins. I was sick last week, so I did not do weekly check-in 3, but I am doing week 3 and week 4 this week. I'm just going to show you what the numbers were for last week. I'm not going to go through all the details, and then I'm going to go through week 4 with you guys like I normally would. You might hear some grass cutting going on around outside. I can't control that, so I do apologize for that. But I am ready to get in and keep up with my budget and keep up with my numbers. So this month has been less spending as far as the number of places. There's less stickers down, but I still seem to be spending almost every day. I have, like I said before, I've been sick, so I have not been cooking at home as much, so we have more eating out. We are over budget in that area. I will show you that in a little bit. I had an extra doctor's appointment and prescription and things like that, and I'm still, hopefully my voice holds out. I didn't have a voice last week, and so I couldn't record, and you wouldn't want to hear me when I sounded like that, that's for sure. So week 3 of the weekly check-in was the 12th through the 18th. As you can see, I've already got my check marks. Well, I missed one, but I got my check marks down, and I have already done that off camera. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and move towards my weekly check-in page where I actually do the tracking from, and I've already paid for week 3 on my credit card because that's where all the spending goes. It goes directly on the credit card once a week. I pay it off and we are good to go. So here we are with weekly check-in. We spent $421.49 in groceries. Restaurants was $122.23. This is definitely up from my norm and that I hoped for, which is about $100 a week or less. And that's because I was sick, of course, and my husband had to pick up some meals on the way home from work and things like that for the family. Miscellaneous, I had $30.87. I bought a table, like a little side table on Amazon to have my son be able to rebuild his Lego kit from a couple years ago. It was Lego Ninjago movie, City Gardens? Can't remember, but it was like a 5,800 piece Lego set, and it's been unboxed. And we went through all the Lego kits. We unboxed all of his kits and kind of took them out of the bags that they were in to make sure everything was still there after the move, and put them into clear plastic bags instead of the white bags that we had, so we can see what it is immediately when we look at it. So we had a bunch of Lego kits that we did that put away in storage until we get the shelving that we want for his room and get that up, and he can display all his Legos. This I actually bought a table for because it's such a large Lego design, and yeah, that's what I bought this year or this month. And I'm excited for him to rebuild it, and I kind of have it displayed in an open area where I can see it and he can see it outside his room and stuff, and over like a walkway upstairs. So it's really, really cool. I actually love that design that he had, and I'm excited to get it out. So I bought a little side table, and then I had $3.47 for copay for one of my regular prescriptions, and that went on the credit card, as well as a couple of bills. One, a Dr. Odell bill where I went to the chiropractor, and then our cell phone bill. I'm hoping this is the last month that we had to pay for our son's cell phones leases. They should be paid off this month, or it's paid off in October. I can't remember which. So we'll see what the bill looks like in October, but for right now, this is what it has been for quite a while since we moved here. And that was what we had to pay the credit card back for that. And then I had a sinking fund. I did not move into savings. I just left it in the checking account. And then when it got charged, which was our annual Amazon Prime subscription, you'll see that when I close out the sinking funds for the end of the month next week, I paid it with this payment. With all the spending I did, I just made one payment to the credit card, and that total payment was $1,085.98. I wrote paid on here, so we're good for week 3. That's what I didn't film last time. So now we're moving on to week 4, for week 4 of the weekly check-in, we're going to go over these transactions. So let's go back to my spending calendar here, and let's go ahead and start with the grocery household, as I always do, and start checking things off. So this set, even though I wasn't feeling well, basically I was hoarse, I couldn't talk, and I had like not cold symptoms, but just allergy symptoms. So I wasn't contagious, and I tested negative for everything and all of that. So it was one of those things where I made a judgment call, and we had a wedding to go to. I'm so glad we did go, even though my voice was hoarse and I wasn't quite feeling that great. We went, and I'm so glad we did. It was my father-in-law's wife's granddaughter, and she has been in my father-in-law's life for past 11, 12 years or so, and I just adore her. She's so sweet. She's now a doctor in pharmacy, and her husband and everything are doing well, and so excited for them in their new life. And she got the wedding of her dreams. They had actually been married in a small wedding ceremony a year or two ago, but she was in the middle of her pharmacy school and then becoming a doctor. So her and her husband just had a lot going on college-wise and graduating and everything, that they waited to do the big ceremony this past weekend. So the first thing I have here is $6.98. So that morning we got up. It was about 2 hours from our house where we were going, and we stopped at the gas station. I went inside and got snacks. My husband wanted to drink. I needed extra cough drops, so basically I got cough drops. So it wasn't really snacks, but I got stuff I would normally get at the grocery store, and that's why the gas station convenience store, anytime I buy from there, is out of a grocery household, because I can buy it at a grocery store. I just chose not to. So $6.97 is what we got. We did buy gas, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then that night at the hotel, because I wasn't feeling so well, we stayed in a Town Place Suites by Marriott, and it was amazing. And it was not a brand new, but it was like 4-year-old hotel. So it was as new as you can probably get. And it was amazing, beautiful hotel. They're like mini apartments with kitchens and all those things. I'm like, wow, this is gorgeous. So, when I travel back to see family, that might be the hotel we keep staying at. So $8.58 to buy, it was like Dayquil, NyQuil for tablets, no, gel capsules, and to help with my symptoms and help me sleep. And it worked. So I'm still taking those because I'm still under the weather. Even though I have my voice back, I still feel like under the weather. It's really strange. So those two things I have. And then here on the way back home, we stopped at a Speedway, which is another gas station, because we always like to have a full tank of gas when we travel, even if it's just 2 hours away. We don't like to go below half a tank when we're traveling. Speedway, and ran in, and my son wanted a drink and my husband wanted a drink, and I think I got a couple bottles of water. We had other snacks in the car, and that was $10.47 or $74. And then I did a grocery pickup for $143.84, the usual, mostly milk and meats and all the things. And then I ordered on Amazon some things. It was supplements, I believe. Yeah, some supplements that I needed. $29.51. And that was the total for grocery household. So let's go ahead and get that totaled up. Okay, so we spent $199.64. It's the lowest groceries in a while, but I did have more eating out. So I normally would have had more groceries if I had cooked more meals, but I didn't. So let's go over the eating out. Starts here on Friday. I do a Friday to Thursday weekly check-in. It's just how my rhythm is as far as my new weeks go. So we start at Friday for Papa John's. The whole family got pizza that night, and it was $48.85 and had it delivered, so that included tip. Taco Bell, I really wanted that for lunch that day. It was $23.40, so me and my husband also had Taco Bell for lunch. And next thing I have is $39.05. So we did get a late lunch at McDonald's before we got to the wedding. When we got to the wedding, there was a pasta dinner and it was amazing. They had a chicken Alfredo that was just divine, absolutely divine. And then $21.37 here. Again, wasn't feeling really good. We got this for our boys. We picked up Wendy's for them. And then my husband and I had Burger King the next night, and it was $19.38. And then one more night of eating out, and that was Panda Express at $19.18. And my husband went and picked that up for us. So let's go ahead and total this up. All right, that was $171.23 that we spent. Now we're going to go to miscellaneous. There was only one item there. And my husband got a haircut. So it was $27.30. That included tip. And then gasoline. So I was pretty much out of gas anyway. And so we filled up the tank. It was $55.53. And then after, just before we got on the road to come home, we filled up the tank again. It was $34.58. It was like a half, it wasn't even halfway. It was close to half the tank. So I wanted to make sure it was full, and it gave me enough gas for the rest of this month, I think. And I don't have to buy gas again until next month. Now, our gas is going to be spent more because my husband is driving his Jeep every day. So, but it's not very far, but he still has to drive it, and which is good because it needs to be driven. The battery is not staying charged if you don't do that. So anyways, so Monday I went to the doctor because my symptoms weren't going away. I had a $25 copay for my doctor's visit. They charged it immediately. And then I went to my pharmacy. I picked up a Z-Pack, and that was actually only 89 cents. And then I bought some more grocery brand Dayquil and NyQuil tablets. And they're helping with my symptoms. So that total was $14.07. I took it out of pharmacy, even though it wasn't a prescribed item. I bought it in the pharmacy, and I didn't want to split the receipt. So that works out there. And that was all I got on that. And, oh, I forgot to check this off. What else do I have? You know what? I didn't even total up gas or copay. You guys are laughing at me, I bet. All right. Let's total up the gasoline. And that was $90.11. And then 25 plus 14.7, and that spent $39.07 for copay. No unbudgeted. Don't have room for unbudgeted anyway, so we're good to go there. I did have some bills. So with my bills that go to the credit card, I just kind of highlight them in blue. And on my paycheck to paycheck budget. And so what hit the bank account was, let's see, Amazon Subscribe and Save. It was at $82.32 for the totals for supplements and stuff like that. And then $2.99 for my storage on my phone. And then my husband's bill here, $43.18. And that is what we're going to total up here. All right, that was $128.49. So now that we have all this information, I'm going to go ahead and go to the weekly check-in. Okay, so I've taken all the information here. I've put down what I've spent. Now we're going to go ahead and calculate what the new balance is for the last part of the month, which is today, which is Friday. I think it's the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So I have 4 days left in the month. And what I have left, because all the bills are paid and I don't expect any more bills to come out, what I have left is what I have left for the rest of the month in cash in my checking account to carry me over until the 30th when my husband gets paid for the first of the new month. So let's go ahead and find these totals. We have $438.08 minus the $199.64. That gives us a $238.44 grocery household balance. I've already paid this, so we're good to go. I'll show you what the total to the credit card was in just a minute. I had $117.55 minus the $171.23. I need my red pen for this, and that is $53.68. So I need to keep in mind I don't have I had to borrow from the rest of these accounts, or not accounts, but the rest of these line items in order to cover that cost. So it lowers my total for the whole, for the rest of the month. So we'll go over that in just a minute as well. So $68.28 minus the $27.30. I have $40.98. Gasoline was $156.40 minus the $90.11, and that is $66.29. And then I have $65.12 minus $39.07, and that leaves us $26.05. Oh, not 50, 5 cents, which is perfect because I just got an email today. I'm not gonna put it in here until like the end of the month when I do the closeout, because that's when it's going to get charged. But my son had a doctor's appointment earlier in the month, or the end of last month. I can't remember when it was, but that bill is finally being charged, and his $25 will be coming out, and I have just enough, leaving me $1.05 left over in that category to go wherever I want it to go. So all these were paid, and we are good. So let's find out how much I have for week 5, which is the last 4 days of the month, September. I can't believe it's almost October. My birthday's right around the corner. And yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's happening so quick. So let me total these numbers up. So for week 3 of the weekly check-in, I technically have $318 for 4 days, and that's $80 a day almost. So I think we're good. I know this is going to be depleted, and then I really just have the rest of this to work out, and I think we'll be okay. We're going to do one eating out this weekend, and I'll make sure we'll stay within that $300 budget. So that I'm not too worried about, which is really good news considering I didn't know how the end of the month was going to work out with the wedding and the travel, and then me being sick and eating out more. So I'm going to go ahead and move these numbers over down here. And it looks like, you know, our budget as far as what we spend every month is very close to what I plan combined, all 5 categories that I put cash towards. Combined, I usually stay within it or pretty close to it. Occasionally I don't, but sometimes I do. And most of the time I do. Oops, 26.05 and 0. And then I need my red pen. There we go, 53.68. So that's the setup for next week. We are ready to close out the budget for the end of the month. That weekly check-in 5 will actually be part of the monthly budget closeout, and paycheck 2 will be closed out. That's how I close out the month, is I do week 5 of the weekly check-in, and then I close out paycheck 2 here at the end of the month, and I write in all my actuals. I actually didn't write all this up here. I was supposed to. But what this tells me, oh, good Lord, I can't write today. But my numbers, what tells me right now the cash I have available is the cash I have sitting in the checking account. All the bills are gone. They've already been paid. All the money's been taken out for that. So what's left is what we will have the night before my husband's paychecks hit. I already have his monthly government checks showing a pending deposit as far as his military retirement and VA disability. I do not see anything for his job just quite yet, but that should be coming, probably Monday. Either Friday or Monday. Well, today is Friday. Either tomorrow or Monday we should start seeing his paycheck for Wednesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't even know what I'm talking about now. He gets paid on Tuesday. So, because the budget closed out here. So either later today or first thing tomorrow, Saturday morning, we'll see a pending deposit for this payday, or we'll see it here on Monday sometime. It's fine. I pretty much have an idea of what he gets paid on the regular, so I'm not that surprised when it shows up. But I do know his pension checks are already, and his disability checks are already pending in the system, so that works out pretty good. Okay, so that is the weekly check-in. We've checked in with all the different transactions. This month is almost over. I have caught everything up here for the weekly check-in and ready to close out the month next week. I do have next month's stickers set up, and they are gorgeous. Every month I'm obsessed. Every month is a new month, and it's just, I don't know, it's something new to look at. It's something fun to look at, and I completely enjoy looking at this. It's just so much fun. And I'm excited for October, my birthday, my husband's birthday. It's, Halloween at the end of the month. And I'm just really excited to get into the month, pumpkin picking and all the farms and stuff. And I'm surrounded by farms, so I love that. That's going to be exciting. You can tell I'm not feeling well still because I haven't even totaled up this. How much did we pay the credit card back? So let's go back here really quick and figure out how much I had to pay the credit card. So if I total up all the spent plus the bills, let's see what we get. All right, we spent or paid the credit card back $655.84. And that's pretty low. That's pretty good. I think we did good. I think me being sick and not going anywhere, even though we over eating out too much, put us over, but that's okay. I'm willing to do that, and grocery household could compensate for that a little bit. I don't have any more miscellaneous stuff to buy for the rest of the month, so that's going to cover most of that cost. And I'm not buying gas for the rest of the month, so that cost is definitely being covered, and I still have enough money for groceries. So that is the only thing I'll be getting, and I think one, maybe two eating out. I'm not sure, but with the $311, I have at least $200 worth of groceries I can get, and then $100 worth of eating out as per usual. We're actually having pizza again together as a family. And we're actually going to my parents' house. So we're going to pick it up and take it over. So we're going to save a little money on not having delivery charges. And yeah, it's going to be a good night. So I'm excited about that. So let's close out again. How beautiful is that? I'll just show you some of the other stuff I got going on here. I added this at the top. I'm going to do my scripture writing and prayer. I always try to do scripture at the beginning of every month and important dates. And this I'm not going to renew, but trash I do have to pay, and it's up. Oh my gosh, it was over $100, so I'm not sure why it's up so much, but it's up a lot. And then this is what I did for the pages going forward. I think they turned out beautiful. I just love this color. Purple is my color, my favorite color. I absolutely love the color purple. So anyways, let's close out this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.